Bush tax cuts to millionaires and billionaires. It's fiscally irresponsible. It's grossly unfair. The president should not back down, nor should we. Congressman Welch joins us right now. Basically, if you could take a minute, Congressman, lay out the alternative, not just the bellicose opposition to the president. Everybody's doing that now on the left, the progressive roots. But just tell me, how would you proceed between now through the rest of December, through however long it took? How would you fight this fight, if you will?
Well, you know, the president said that the American people agreed with him that we shouldn't be going on the credit card to extend tax cuts to millionaires and billionaires. And I think he should have hung in there. We're in the seventh inning.
And tell me that route and where it goes. Lead him. Tell him where the president should have gone.
Well, first of all, I think he's got the bully pulpit, and he ultimately has the veto pen. He's got a lot of power. And what he's dealing with, and I have a lot of sympathy on this, is an intractable Senate Republican leadership that will not cooperate. And the two things that are a problem here, and this is why I think down the road this leads to much more difficulty for us, is one, $1 trillion deeper hole on our deficit. And
yeah, I know, Congressman, I only got a little time. I want you to tell me what he should do. If you don't cut a deal with the Republicans, the taxes go up for everybody this January 1st. Are you willing to accept that? Because the Republicans are not going to give you 60 votes to do it your way in the Senate, as you point out.
He says no. We got 53 votes in the Senate, and the president has to say no to them and engage the American people. Here's the bottom line. If the American people know that the choice is between the Republican position to hold unemployment benefits hostage and the middle-class tax cuts for 98% of the people hostage, or the president's position, they're going to come down, I believe, on the side of the president. And will that then be expressed by them against senators who are holding out with a filibuster? The president's got to have, as I think all of us have to have, ultimately some confidence that the American people are going to know what's good for them. $1 trillion added onto the debt is not good for them. This is the political trap that the Republicans have been so successful in setting before.
Okay, so you believe that the majority of the American people out there would support not getting their tax cuts because the president comes out and says the reason you're not getting your tax cuts or you're actually going to get a tax increase is because they're trying to fight for the rich. And you think they would buy that?
You know, Chris, I think the American people are getting pretty cynical about what's going on here, because this is an absurd situation where literally 98% of the people would get a tax cut under President Bush or under President Obama's plan, and the Republicans are holding it up. And then we blink. I think we blinked too soon. There's a couple more innings in this game. Yeah. We should keep pitching.
I think he wants to use those innings to get Don't Ask, Don't Tell through, to get the New START nuclear treaty through. And if he does go a couple more innings, as you suggest, I'm just making his case, right through Christmas, nothing gets done. Republicans get control of the House next year. Nothing's going to get done on Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and they're going to completely cream you guys.
And that's absolutely the position that they've used, and they've done a stick up time and again. Well, let me just finish and make one last point. Sure. This is the political trap that they've set. And before the ink is dry on this deal that they've demanded, the Republican leadership will accuse the president of being a budget buster, fiscally reckless, and accuse him of adding $1 trillion to the deficit. And just look at what John Boehner's doing. He's saying, let the Democrats do the dirty work. He's not even telling the president he'll get the votes to get this passed. That should tell us something about what's going on here. We're going to be watching that.
So, Congressman Welch, we're going to be watching the House for the next couple weeks to see if he does get the 218. I always like to remind people it takes 218 to do anything. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Christmas to you, sir.